wanna see the flame, so don't spark the match. We like rookie Kurt Angle, make your ankle snap. Three amigos like Eddie, but don't lie, you steal. Only cheat when we gotta, but to win we will. Mike skills like Dusty, but go hard like Brock. I'm a stunner like Austin, dropping elbows like Mach. Y'all don't wanna see the finish, cause it's us on top. 1, 2, 3, get the V and get a warrior pop. Yo!
Hey guys, this is Joe here from the Bump Boys podcast. We got Will here today. Say hello, Will.
What's going on, guys? It's Mr. underscore Wilbur's 95. I keep saying Wilbur's. No S. It's Mr. underscore Wilbur 95. AKA Will. AKA King William. What's going on, guys?
Going good, man. Unfortunately, Danny's not here, but I guess fortunately for Danny, he's watching the Batman on the night it got dropped. You know, that man be having some good movies. I'm just gonna say that.
He's always out, man. He's always quick to catch some movies. Now we have to make sure we get that boy, get his cam link.
But we're gonna do a quick fun video tonight. You know, something fun, a little lighthearted. A lot of news got dropped this week. So me and Will are going to talk about our Mount Rushmore of WWE. We gave ourselves 1 minute and we wrote down the 4 most influential people we believe impacted the wrestling business the most. So I'm gonna let Will start off first. Will, who is the first entry in your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
First entry will be my favorite wrestler of all time, Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think he's
too.
Yeah. So we'll check that off on the box. I think what he did with the whole, he carried, WWF at that time within the whole WCW, Monday Night War and everything like that. And if it wasn't for that, persona of, what Vince came up with Vince versus Stone Cold, who knows what would have been.
So for me, I put Stone Cold on there because at one point I feel like he related a lot to basically everyone throughout the world. Everyone has a boss they don't like. Everyone has someone that they're not a fan of. And he literally walked in there, stuttered this man that in the ring.
Facts.
And was like, I don't give a fuck who you are, I'm gonna be me. So I feel like he was one of the first characters like, I'm gonna do me, and we'll go day by day. So yeah, he carried it.
Basically raise hell. Like whether even it's not a boss, it's also like someone who, this middle class worker, low middle class worker who just likes to do his job, go home, drink some beer. And then whether or not your boss, but also just be someone who's higher up in society, who's more snobby, maybe the Joneses next door with their, bougie family. And then sometimes you just got to raise some hell and, take some names. And so Stone Cold.
Drinking the IPAs. But last thing I want to say about Stone Cold is I think his promo when he won that King of the Ring, when he basically says, forget about your John 16, Austin 3:16 says, I just whooped your ass. And you see Michael Hayes' reaction just out of nowhere. He didn't know he was going to say it. He's like,
oh, shit. He referenced the Bible? Can't do that, cuz. He's like, chill.
It was just that's just a promo that was just like, wow, like that's some attitude right there. Mm-hmm. So Stone Cold is on mine. So I'm going to go with my next one. I have 2 that I'm going to say towards the end. My next one I'm putting is John Cena.
So when you were like, go and like, look up, some Mount Rushmores, I did have The Rock here. One, for the fact that I just felt like what The Rock did for like, he was one of the first, like obviously Hulk Hogan did it in the, the 80s, early 90s, but mainly the 80s, transitioning from WWE into, or, wrestling at that time into like the big picture, the movies. Rock was probably he is the greatest, actor out of all the wrestlers who've done acting. But then again, I also said, like he connects with the audience. So this is a toss up. So like I actually ended up, once I saw John Cena, I ended up having to go with John Cena for how long he carried. The Rock didn't have to carry a full almost, decade and a half. John did have to carry. So I did switch The Rock and John Cena, and I put John Cena in the top 4.
So what I was watching a documentary. It was WWE Rivals. So it was McMahon and Austin from 2014 on the Peacock WWE Network. Go check that out. Really good, man. Really good. It's old, but it's really good. The Rock became a star because Stone Cold got injured. Mm-hmm. If Stone Cold never got injured, it makes you wonder, would The Rock really be as big as he was? And I remember growing up, I was the Rock fan. You were Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, yeah.
Now that I'm older, I am kicking myself in the ass because like, yo, I lost that war because like Stone Cold is infinitely better than The Rock.
So
like, now he's Dwayne.
It's like to me, Stone Cold and The Rock has always been, Jedi, Darth, Anakin, Darth Vader, or Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan, Darth, the Siths versus the Jedi, red, blue, good cop, bad cop, tea, coffee. To me, there's Stone Cold, The Rock. Stone Cold, give me a hell yeah, the dumb shit he would do. But then again, it's also like, is The Rock, the promos and the catchphrases may be just as good as what Stone Cold could even do. The finally in the millions and millions, or the what? Like, it's back and forth. But what John did is, John Cena, if you look about one, what's amazing? A lot of these stars that we're going to talk about were on the verge of probably not being stars or being even cut off of their promo. So, with The Rock, I believe, what was it? The Rock and Roll, Stunning Steve, when Stunning Steve went over, that's when he made his transition to that King of the Ring, 1990 something, I forgot, is when, he had the match and he had the match. And then also the Bret Hart match was really big for him as well. Mm-hmm. Passing out while being bloodied. So that famous picture of him in the sharpshooter, blood tearing down his face. But then also The Rock as, Rocky Maivia being booed, really trying to come up. Yeah, die Rocky die. John Cena himself, before the whole rap gimmick and before the chain gang and the hustle, loyalty, respect, there was just, I'm John Cena. There was just that goofy motherfucker. So I give it to John. What's funny? We said John, but we ended up going off about like The Rock, Stone Cold. But you know what it is? He's in that realm. John, one, to my opinion, freshened up WWE.
I consider John almost the Michael Jordan of WWE.
Yeah.
Everywhere you went, there was the jean shorts, everywhere you went, jean shorts. There's an iconic photo of you with the Seahawks jersey and the jean shorts, or the John Cena jersey and stuff like that. Everyone was down with John Cena. He was into the rap game. He, I think,
the spinner belts.
Like, you can't see me, spinners, all that. He is like the Michael Jordan of WWE. Yeah. He literally did it the best, and he was a superhero. At the end of the day, he was a superhero.
He carried the company. He was our modern day Hulk Hogan. Yeah. Classic. I took the hand from the air and I put it in front of my face, brother. Hulk Hogan in the 80s having to carry WWF at that time. John Cena literally. Oh, what?
Did he say that?
Yeah, remember he was cutting the promo and he was like, I'm just a rehash Hulk Hogan. Instead of putting the hand to my ear, brother, I just took it and put it in front of my face. That was during the the Rock or Roman Reigns promo. I think it was the Rock one.
I need to go back. That's a dope line.
Yeah, he said it. Yeah, he was like, I'm just a rehash Hulk Hogan. Taking the hand from the ear to the face. But also, like, when I stopped watching WWE, like when I first stopped watching after high school, the Nexus era was horrible in my opinion. I thought WWE was really searching for talent. That was the beginning of the whole NXT era, the rehashing of the old TV show, the, who wants to be the next pro wrestler type thing, which was NXT. That was my biggest take is John Lilly carried the company.
Yeah, so my MJ of WWE.
Yep.
Let me hear your third one. I think this is where it gets interesting.
So my third, I didn't want to do it. Obviously, because once again, it's okay. I put Hulk Hogan there.
Okay.
If you're gonna put John Cena in there, you have to put Hulk Hogan in there. For the Hulk Hogan for the 80s. Once again, he was one of the first to really transition also into movies. So before The Rock, before the John Cenas, before the Miz, there was Hulk Hogan. And then not alone what he just did for WWF, but what he also did for WWE and what he also did for WCW as well. He created one of the greatest factions of all time. Like if I had to put, greatest and most iconic factions, obviously there's the Four Horsemen, Evolution, Legacy, NWO is another one that's really, really big.
So I agree. I think NWO is probably one of the biggest one of the biggest groups out there. We just saw the star power they had. For me, I went a different route. So John Cena was that mega star. Stone Cold was that show your personality. I went Undertaker.
So Undertaker was my fourth.
Okay, so
I already know who your fourth is as well. I already know who your fourth is. You're gonna go real old school.
So before you go to guess my fourth,
we'll talk about the Undertaker. Yeah,
I put Taker on there.
I did put Taker. Yep.
This man, up until a couple years ago, stayed in kayfabe for what 25 years.
Facts. Wouldn't crack.
Wait, what?
Like wouldn't crack the kayfabe.
I think you meant like he did some crack. I was like,
no. Because like even on the Pat McAfee show, he was talking about like he's like I used to try and get the Undertaker to crack, and he just wouldn't. I would do anything I could, and I just couldn't get him to crack while out.
Like I remember us growing up, and I used to think the Undertaker is actually like the dead man. Like this man really died in the casket. He got set on fire. The lightning bolt. I literally thought this man had some demon powers at one point.
I remember the whole like hanging on the cross thing with I think that was Stone Cold or some shit, and then there was the Buried Alive by Kane, and then the WrestleMania 20. I put The Rock. He is what. So Hulk Hogan, the Undertaker is a better version of what I feel like. Not saying Hulk Hogan is, but what Vince wanted Hulk Hogan to be. His ride or die, his right-hand man, and then Hogan just didn't see it. Whereas Undertaker's been Vince's right-hand man. Undertaker has always been there for him.
So I agree with all those things. So you have Hogan, Taker,
Cena, and Austin. Those are my top four. Probably arguably the more classic top four.
So I find it interesting that we have 3 out of the 4 that are the same.
Yeah.
The last one, you said you had a guess.
You're gonna go Bruno Sammartino, trying to be all slick and cool.
Wrong.
Let me guess. Wait. Let me guess. Ric Flair.
No.
All right. Let's see. Let's hear it.
We've already mentioned this man's name here.
The Rock.
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon as the Mount Rushmore.
This is a Mount Rushmore of wrestling. Hear me out.
It's a Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, dog.
It's a Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. Vince McMahon's a world champion. Don't forget that. But remember, without Vince, none of them would be superstars.
I feel like you tried to make this too cute. We said Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. We can rewind it like, hey guys, it's the Bump Boys. We're going over and reviewing the top 4 Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. Even though Vince does wrestle.
So I'm just saying, I put Vince on there.
So without Vince, because honestly, everyone would have, if we were putting Vince in there, you could probably explain why you have Vince. We all understand. Wrestlers. Let's just go like full-time wrestlers. That's their job. Because Vince would be in everyone's top 4 because he created the wrestling business theoretically. Wrestlers themselves.
Just wrestlers.
A lot of people would put Bruno Sammartino just for the whole, region era wrestling, the divisional regions and shit like that, South Midwest Mud Dog wrestling, all that kind of shit. Ric Flair just for the 4 Horsemen aspect, some of the most iconic matches.
That's true. If I'm going just straight wrestler, I think
you might have to line up with me, man. Like, who gets better than the 4? Turn that phone off. How dare you, dogs? Turn your notifications off, dogs.
That was you, bro. That was you.
My notifications are turned off, dog, so don't blame that on me. We know for sure that was you. Nope.
Turned off, bro.
Hell no.
See,
you have 2 phones, bro. Fuck out of here. I know you have 2 phones. You have a work phone and your phone. Stop playing me. Lying ass motherfucker.
How do I know you didn't put your hand over there and switch off a little thing?
For sure. I've been spinning my freaking light remotes. But like, so let's say arguing your top 4. So like there's Bruno, there's Ric Flair. I argue sometimes even Triple H because I feel like for the pure wrestler selling it, obviously besides Undertaker and kayfabe, who sells better than Triple H? Like who really makes it seem like he's getting hit? Like, he's really taking a fucking punch.
I think Triple H is the best seller. in the company. He cares about the business. He loves the business.
Yeah.
And he started from nothing. If I'm going Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, I want to say, I don't want to put Ric Flair in there. I don't want to put Hulk Hogan because I already have John Cena. Bruno, I don't want those old people. So if I'm picking someone, I'm going to end up
I want those old people.
like, I'm going to pick someone who's old, but it's a different reason. I'm going to go with, I'm going to have to go with it. Dusty Rhodes. I'm going to have to put Dusty Rhodes on there. The reason why I put Dusty on there is this man became a world star. And if you think about what he was wrestling in, he was a big guy dressing in yellow and purple polka dots.
Yeah.
And he somehow was able to bring his charisma and charm on the mic, that little Southern accent that he had. And if you ever want to hear the best promo in the world, you put on Hard Times by Dusty Rhodes and you listen to that promo, and he said that shit in what, the 70s, 80s? You listen to it now, that shit even hits harder, bro.
You think it's you think it's even better than Ric Flair's To Be the Man, You Got to Beat the Man? Like that full promo he hit?
Easily better.
You think so?
Better. The fact that he says, you work your ass off for a company, they give your ass, a $200 watch, show you the door, and says bye-bye. Like that man, if you listen to that promo, that shit, if you close your eyes and think of everything you've been in through your life, you will remember something from everything there. He talks about, being the son of a plumber. I'm reaching out through the TV. He mentions the fourth wall. He says, I'm reaching out to the TV as a little kid. I'm reaching out. Touch my hand. That promo, when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, bro.
Yeah, facts.
I cried, bro. I cried. That shit was a beautiful promo because
it was just amazing.
There's a reason why Dusty is a legend on the promo game. And he taught everyone.
He taught everybody. No, go ahead.
Dusty.
Dusty?
Dusty, bro.
And then he taught everybody to buy my DVD. The Dusty Rhodes collection. Hey, yo, such a classic.
Drop that in there, bro.
Man. May God rest his soul. The late great.
Yes.
Once again, maybe I have to go back more and watch one of his promo. I see what you're saying too. Like also just what he was as a obviously as a wrestler, but I did mention John Cena being a movie star, purely if you look at it like Dusty too, as well as a booker and like being able to like work a show backstage past when he was wrestling as well, what he did for the company, because that's what Cody was trying to follow obviously with the whole AEW stint. So I could see that there, but there's a hard case for that number 4 spot. I feel like that's the Dusty Rhodes, Bruno Sammartino. Do you put The Rock in there for? Do you put Ric Flair? But then obviously Ric Flair takes a little drop because of the whole dark side of the ring incident and everything like that. So like it's like one of those: do we ignore it or like do we give him his credit? But we at least know the top 3. Would have to be Stone Cold, John Cena, and The Undertaker. And then obviously that 4th spot is very flippy floppy. It's hard.
I agree. And there's lists that I think anyone can make a list and justify it. And I think as long as you genuinely care and believe behind it, I think any list is legit. Like think about it. Maybe 5-10 years from now, we might be saying Roman Reigns is probably the greatest of all time. With the work he's been doing now, he started off difficult, but all like you said, Stone Cold, Stunning Steve, John Cena, just coming out with ruthless aggression, Undertaker. He had some pretty bad gimmicks himself back in the day.
He did. He was part of one of the arguably. Some people argue that's one of the best factions, the Shield. I forgot to mention the Shield and the factions. The only thing is with the Roman Reigns thing is, how many years left do we get of Roman before Roman maybe ventures off into? I think Roman would be the next to venture off into Hollywood. The issue with Roman too, as well, is I look at like John. Besides John in the beginning of his Chain Gang, rap era John, where he was a little heelish, just because it was more cocky. John, out of all these guys, never had like a full on heel run. He was always babyface. And then obviously besides, towards later on in his career, the booze and stuff like that. But has anyone ever touched John on the merch sales? Like, I feel like this dude has sold the most merch, like lifetime, is John Cena.
Yeah, he sold a lot of merch.
Like the amount of money he's made WWE just alone off merch. And just a long career too as well. Like, it's a tough one, man. The Mount Rushmore is a very, very, at least we were able to agree on 3 of them. And then obviously there's the argument debate of that 4th spot. Who slots in on that?
So like off the top of my head, like I was like, I was curious on who was like the top 4 of all time.
Mm-hmm.
For number 1, they have Ric Flair, which I think, after the shit he's pulled recently, regardless of what I don't think he solidified his thing as much now that that's got resurfaced.
Well, once again, he's arguably, he is there. Like I said, he could be that 4th. You could take out, oh man, my head. You could take out Hulk Hogan and be like, well, Rick, more championships, probably more breathtaking promos, arguably, and probably the greatest faction of all time in the 4 Horsemen. Then in also top 6 greatest faction with Evolution, what he's done for the younger kids and everything. Well, the younger wrestlers. Rick is hard. I know some other people. What's some other
16-time world champ too?
Yep.
Second was Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. Yep. We know that's
third. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Yep.
4th was Shawn Michaels.
He doesn't have the titles. That's the issue. Shawn doesn't have the title wins that everybody else has. You can't put Shawn Michaels above John Cena. I'm sorry.
So Cena was like he wasn't even top 10, bro.
That's absolutely.
Triple H was 11. Kurt Angle was 12.
Yeah,
Edge was Jericho's above him. Cena was 19 on
this
list. But
I don't trust this. This is someone just being like a fan of like the Attitude Era of wrestling, and then like I have to respect Ric Flair. There's no way John Cena does not make anyone's top 4 just from the standpoint alone of HBK only had to carry the company for like that year or 2, right before the whole Austin 316, the Mike Tyson WrestleMania, show up. I'm giving John Cena literally carried a whole decade of wrestling from like 07 to 2017. John Cena literally had to carry, obviously those are the Edge, the Randys, stuff like that, but John Cena literally was the face of the company. Shawn Michaels was never the face of the company for more than maybe a year or 2 or maybe 3. And then Shawn Michaels took such a long time off, from 04 to like 2000. Shawn Michaels took 2002, right? He took like 5 years off, didn't he?
2003.
Yeah, he took 5 years off. No, I don't give him the.
And he wasn't in a good spot when he came back eventually. Or in that between, he was, not.
And so did Jericho. How does that list have that? So did Jericho. Jericho took like 4 years off as well, or no, 4 to 5 years off. 7 years off. Sorry, 7 years off. He took 7 years off. No, I'm not giving you that. John Cena, Undertaker, Stone Cold, those are the top 3, and then you can argue it. Like where does Undertaker rank in that guy's list?
He was number, I think, 6 or 7. I'm on another list, but they have Marquette first and stuff like that. But I think even then, like we were saying, I think anyone can make your top 4, and as long as you make a case and you convince them, and you are open-minded on what feedback they give you, I think almost you can plead it for a lot of combination. But I think the one person we think that ultimately makes the pass on any list would be Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah.
Like but he's like the guy. He's the person who like made Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, but that's different. That'd be like saying, who are my top 4 greatest people of all time, and that'd be like saying God is like in the top 4. Like if you believe there's a God and he is real,
Yeah, like he is the god of the wrestling world.
Yeah, so we don't give him that. But I think in a lot of people's lists, you'll always see like maybe Stone Cold within that top 4, top 5.
Great. So, well, thank you for giving me your insight. I had a blast with this stuff. I love reminiscing. We had interesting lists, and I think it was had a real good time talking with you, man.
Same to you, my brother. You know how we end this. It's been a bump, boys.
Signing out.
Peace.
Must bid you adieu, goodbye, mwah, and good night.